What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Joe Funicello, and I'm here with
Horacio Gonzalez.
remember, if you like the content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It helps us tremendously on our road to building a professional club here in Costa Rica. Hey, I don't know if you guys can hear, we got the mic right here, but you can't really hear him when he speaks. So this is why we're actually doing this episode. So Junior is a player who's come through our development center. He pays now to be here. He didn't get scouted, but he pays now to be here monthly to train with our professional team. And he's so talented. Like, he is very good. Could he play at the professional level? Yes. We've placed players like him in the professional game. But while he's here, there's certain things I need to work with him on. And one of the main things I said is presence. I don't even know if you guys can hear him. He might need to go down here and say presence next to the microphone. But he's talented. I mean, if you watch him play, like, if you know the game, he reads angles so well. He wins his tackles. He's a center back. He balances the game properly. But you have to have a really good scout who sees those things, right? They'll say they have a lot of you. A lot of guys who are like you that are simple players, right? Where I think if you had a little more presence, and maybe you won't because it's not your game, it would allow you to stand out more and give you more opportunity to be scouted.
I was going to ask, presence, do you mean just vocally, or?
I think vocal is the biggest part of presence. Like, if the ball is being switched and you got to tell your outside backs to tuck in, it could be like, Johnny, tuck in. And, like, those little moments create presence, right, for your team and the other team, a coach, and whoever's watching. So that could be one of them, vocal. The other part of it is making a tackle or moments when the game's quiet. Let's say a winger gets down the line and beats two and puts it in and there's a corner kick. You saying, Johnny, if he's the winger, well done, that's amazing, well done. That presence, and then you go make a tackle or you win the header next. You know what I mean? That's presence, right? Now, I think for you it's vocal. But for other players, it can be different things. But I think it's not what you're missing. I think that's why maybe a scout doesn't say, who is that guy? What I'm saying is I just think for you to be seen more because you don't have a resume, nobody knows who you are, you need more of a presence. That's my opinion, right? Because, like, I watch and I'm like, that guy's good. I mean, I have 3 foreign spots taken, but if I could sign you and I needed a center back, I would. But I know if I sign you, I need a ball winner. You are a ball winner. I need someone who's going to, like, be telling people what to do. Yeah, who's respect of his teammates there. Not saying that teammates don't respect you, because they do. But someone, when the game's not going well, is going to be like, get in there, go there, left shoulder. Where I can't rely on you for that. I can rely on you to have an A+ game, an A- game consistently, but I can't rely on you when the game is hard to be like, hey, this is what I need from you, which is okay too. That's not your game. But does that make sense?
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, so those are things that I see.
So it's more in the field, be more, like for next game, be more, I want to say vocal?
I don't know if that's not your game.
I mean, I feel like I am vocal, but not to the point where it's
your
like,
presence isn't felt.
I'm like, yeah. Crazy.
Your presence is felt from me because you're consistent. But a scout who's coming to watch you doesn't know you're consistent. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. He has to be like, I want that specific type of player. Where with me, I remember I was training with New York, New Jersey Metro Stars at 18 years old, and the sporting director was watching us in a reserve training, and I was like, left shoulder, right shoulder, get in there, well done, Johnny, do that. And he went over to the coach, and he goes, who is that? I can feel his presence on the game. And he came up to me after the game and said, or after practice, and he said, your presence today was felt in practice. And I started understanding, okay, that's what presence means.
Right. So it's more like you're saying I have the, like, physical abilities, it's more the...
You have the technical ability, technical-wise, so good. Physical abilities you have, you win your battles, you know the game.
What can I do to... I don't know.
You gotta come out of your shell. You gotta come out of your shell a little bit. But it could be something small you start with. Like, let's say you're at training and your team's competing 5-on-5, 2 minutes, 2 goals. And someone puts a great tackle in, and you hear your voice. Johnny, well done, what a tackle. Like, then your presence is felt. And then you go win a tackle and it motivates you, you know. But again, you have to also be that type of player. It's not like, you know what I mean?
Doesn't come out like overnight.
Yeah. But I think it gives you more of an opportunity to be seen. Not saying you shouldn't be seen now, but it would give you more tools to be seen.
More of a spotlight.
Spotlight, yeah. 'Cause that's what you need.
I guess that's what my problem is. Like growing up, I don't know. The spotlight when it was on me, I'd rather be like behind the scenes, you know.
Which is nothing wrong with. That's what sucks about playing in the U.S. Because in Europe or somewhere else, you're a top player because you need players like you. You're the type of guy that goes to get 200 games and have consistent performances, like a Rio Ferdinand, like a Gary Neville. You know, guys like that who are just great, consistent performers. You know, maybe Gary Neville is a bad example, but I don't think he was that good. But
good.
you know, like guys like Rio Ferdinand, guys like Nesta. Nesta's a perfect example of you. What did you say?
Nesta.
Oh, okay. I thought you didn't know who he was.
He was amazing.
Alessandro Nesta. You know.
Is there a way that I can have that presence without talking, or is it more for me talking? Or?
No, I mean I think talking is a big thing. That presence of talking is a big thing. It's hard. But it doesn't mean you have to do it. I don't want people watching this video being like, oh, he has to talk to have presence. No, it's just like, that's the type of player you are. And I think that's what, it makes it harder for you to be scouted because you don't have a professional resume. And when scouts come look at you, they have to be looking for your specific type of player. You know, it's not like you can pop up and be like, who's that?
Yeah. I mean, it's different for every player.
Yeah, it's different.
I can have my weaknesses and then another player has their weaknesses. So.
That's why scouts are always like, who's that?
I mean, besides presence, is there like another?
I'll give you an example. No, I'll give you something that happened the other day that I don't think you even knew happened. So, your presence is felt once you're in the team. So Andreas was, we were talking about center backs, and he was like, "What about Junior?" And I was like, "Foreign player." He's like, "That's right." He's like, "Junior's so good technically, balances the game, does these things." And I was like, "Look at that. His presence felt." But his presence felt once he's been in the team consistently for a little bit, training with us, and over time. His presence not like right away.
That's funny you say that. Yeah, because I had a club coach that he took me when I was 12, and he trained me until I was like, up to college. He told me the same thing. He's like, you're a great player, but if you go on trial, it's like you need basically like 3 months or like a period of time where you can like adapt to the environment, because if you go in like just give you 15 minutes,
not gonna show anything.
You won't show anything because you'll have a good game in the 15 minutes, but you're not gonna like stand out to someone that's like dribbling.
Yeah, we had a player like that, Zach Reynolds, who we sent to Sweden, and he's playing in Nice now, but just like you, couldn't take him off the field, but he had no presence in terms of like you need to put him in a team, and people need to see how good he was. And it's the same with you.
Is that why you told me last time I need games?
Yeah, I think you need games of someone telling you things you need to work on. I think you've improved a lot. I think when you came in, you were an outside back, and you weren't.
Growing up, I was a 6 or a center back, and then I got to college, and I was like 18 when I got to college. And I've only played 2 years. And the center backs there were huge, like buff, huge. And then the coach at the time at the college, he was like, "Oh, you're too small. You're not small. You're not the
classic
size."
rule, the classic the saying, "You're too small to be a center back."
Yeah, he's like, "You're playing either right or left."
Yeah, I could see you as a 6 or as a center back. I told you, right back. I don't think you want to get forward and put 100 crosses in and take people on. It's not your game. Your game is simplicity.
I like cutting the game. I like making tackles more than I like taking people on.
Yeah. You can see that. But, you can play professionally. And this is the thing, right? You guys are like, well, if he can play professionally, why not place him? It's not that easy. I wish it was. No, but like, they'll say, I know he'll go out and have an amazing season, be player of the year, right? But a team's going to look at him and say, no, I don't see anything. But no, you trust me. I have to sell more that he's a player that's going to be good through the season. But I don't want a player that is going to be good in 3 months. I want somebody who makes an impact now. These are things that are just very important for players like you guys to know. You can play professionally, but it's not that easy just to say, hey, play professionally. These are factors that come in when scouts come in and look at players.
What's the one thing you look at?
For me, I'm different. I build teams. I don't look at players. I don't know if you know what that means, but I don't go out and say, he's good, I'll take him. I'll go out and say, he's good, how does he fit into my team? I have A, B, and C here. Yeah, he can score me 100 goals, but we won't win the league because he's cancerous to A, B, and C. That's how I scout. You have other scouts that say, oh, he's going to score me 100 goals. Who cares if we stay in this league? I'll sell him. So for me, when I go scout, I look at, I want to win games. I want SoccerViza to be the biggest ever. And if SoccerViza is the biggest ever, players will get sold. I want good environment. There's players that come through our system that are, oh my God, so good. But I would never sign them because they'd make A, B, and C worse, even though they'd be the best player in the league. And my team would be mid-table.
That makes sense.
Makes sense? Every scout's different. Every president's different. Every coach is different. Every sporting director's different. That's what you're competing with. That's what you're hoping for. Someone to look at the qualities you have and want to sign you.
I think sometimes some of it is luck.
90%.
90%.
90% is luck. And then the other 10% is how good you are when you get there.
Personally, how did you, like throughout your whole career, what made you, like, I guess what I'm trying to say, like, did you have like mental preparation? Like, what was it like?
When I signed my first big deal, I was on fire. Well, my mental could have been more prepared. I was a little more nervous. It's like the consistency of performing. I wasn't mentally ready for coaches making bad decisions. I thought once you get to the professional level, is this how it is? Like I thought coaches were amazing at the top level, but it's not like that. But there's a lot of factors that come in. Agents bring in a new right back, or a right back comes in from the Danish national team. Even though I think I'm better than him, or left back, he's got more experience, so the coach is saying, no, I'm going to go with that. Like, I didn't realize how the industry worked and all the variables that come into play.
In terms of the game, like, for, let's say you had a big game on Saturday, how did you mentally prepare?
Stay by myself. That was me. I like to be by myself like 2 days, a day before the game, and just work on me and think about that. I'm big on seeing things happen in my mind and trying to do them in the game. Like I say, I'm going to have 5 crosses. I'm going to put the ball in this area, and that's how I see it. Or I make a big tackle. I love headers, so like I'm gonna go up and win a corner, boom, and score a goal. You know, like those are things that.
It's like
visualizing. Yeah, big on that. Being by myself. A lot of self-talk, and don't get me wrong. Sometimes when I get in that tunnel, I'm gonna start, being like, oh shit, but you gotta fight through it. So guys, I hope you liked some of the information here. I don't know if you can even hear him say presence again. That's what he needs to work on. But he's a top player and he can play professionally. But sometimes being able to play professionally doesn't mean you get a professional contract. There's a lot of variables that go in there. And I hope this video helped you understand some of those variables. Hope it helped you understand.
Definitely did.
All right. So, it's a pleasure having him down here. He brings the level of my training so high, and hopefully we can find him something. We're trying to call around, even get him 4th, 3rd division teams. No scouts are down here at Development Center now as we're practicing with we're running things with our pro team, and in June the scouts will come back down for the 30 players we have down here, but always trying to help them, and thank you for coming down and training with us.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Hope you enjoy it. What do you think about it?
The whole thing's amazing.
Yeah.
I think
training, you like training?
I love training. You don't get that back home, ever.
So
it's a different environment.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Hope you enjoyed the episode. We'll see you soon.